Hello, this is Attic to Basement Estate Cleanouts with Raccoons, episode 20. I want to talk about one job from 2007, where most of the pieces of furniture were sold to 3 buyers of antiques. Each has a specialty, and we're looking for different things. One sells furniture in an antique shop and also does a monthly furniture co-op in Buckystown, Maryland. I think I met her in 2007 through another buyer I met in 2006 or 2007. That buyer wants furniture that she can repaint and then sell as shabby chic. The piece usually has an issue, such as watermarks on the top and the finish, or missing handles, which she could easily take care of with new knobs and a coat of paint. She sells items from her own yard in Etchison, Maryland, and in an antique store in Luckett's, Virginia. And lastly, there was my helper, who worked with me about 6 years and owned an antique store in Burtonsville, Maryland, until 2008 when she sold it and began to work for me. Her specialty was jewelry, but she occasionally wanted furniture for herself. All these wonderful women came into my life because of one of my very first helpers named Maxine. I met Maxine when I went looking for someone to buy antique linens that came from my client's home. She told me that if I ever needed any helpers, she would be happy to work with me. She did work for me for a couple of years and could name the maker of glassware just by looking at a bowl or a plate. Maxine was a great help to me and a wonderful friend whom I still miss. Another job was in Silver Spring, and I only worked 2 short days there. The family was keeping a lot of the furniture. They had put Post-it notes on in different colors for different children. Washington, D.C. area gets very humid in the summer, and sometimes these stickers would fall off between the time the family went through the property and marked what they wanted with Post-it notes and the time I started and ended work in the house. Lots of phone calls or emails back and forth if they started falling off onto the floor. That's the one reason I started taking photos of most of the furniture. I can't remember how many times people called me a month after I completed a house and I was asked where a chair or a table went. Was it sold at auction? I probably had done 3 more houses by this time, and the photos helped me jog my memory. In this house, there were 50 boxes of paperwork in the attic to sort through, and it was June, and it was very warm up there. Was a little rambler, less than 900 square feet. There was a basement that isn't considered by the county in the square footage for tax purposes, but it was full. There was no attic. It was in Rockville, Maryland, and as tiny as it was worth $307,000. From 2001 to 2005, I advertised my company in the Yellow Pages, and this is how the family found me. This is before Yelp.com was around. I don't think Angie's List was big in Washington, D.C. metro area yet either. I met the son of the woman who had owned the house. She had died in November. He and his wife met me in July and said they had been working on emptying the house, but they were getting nowhere. The son would come in from West Virginia and only be able to work in the house an hour or 2. Before being there without his mother would get to be too much for him, and they would have to leave. I had Maxine working with me, along with 2 other helpers. plus a cousin who came on a Friday from Colesville, New York, and pitched in for 3 hours to help when the auction company came to pick up what we had packed. And then I took her to see the sights of Washington, D.C. Maxine cleared out the kitchen, and my other 2 helpers worked in the basement. One of the helpers was a man I had first met through a day labor site. He was a hard worker and pleasant, so I called him once in a while to work with me. We also had him lug out trash bags and help load our cars with charity. We made 4 trips to charity in one day. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Check out my Facebook page, 800 Houses, 800 Jobs, for more photos.